Rob, what is our second main topic
Our
today?
second main topic comes to us from James Lochmann, who says, "Hey, John and crew, one of the films that I'm looking forward to is Christopher Nolan's Oppenheimer, starring Cillian Murphy as J. Robert Oppenheimer, who was one of the main figures behind the Manhattan Project. In an article in Total Film magazine, Nolan revealed that he recreated the first nuclear weapon detonation without CGI effects to use in his film." I called that, by the way. Between that and Tom Cruise wanting to shoot the first movie in outer space, do you think Hollywood is going way overboard and ignoring the high risks involved? Your thoughts?
All right, thanks a lot for that, James. Now, look, if you're a film fan, one of the big films on our radars is Oppenheimer. I mean, just the true story itself is incredible. It's the next Christopher Nolan undertaking. The cast is remarkable, top to bottom. Like, it's a who's who right now going in Hollywood, top to bottom. It's an incredible cast. The guy who created the atomic bomb. And Rob's not kidding. A while back, we were talking about it. Rob said something along the lines, I wish we had the clip to play, but Rob said something along the lines of, you know what, I bet practical, Christopher Nolan, if you look at Interstellar, he loves his practical effects. I could see him setting off an actual nuclear weapon to film this. Well, he's not that far off because according to his story here, it looks like but he didn't actually set off a nuclear weapon. This is how it actually comes to us from the folks at Variety wrote the following. This is Christopher Nolan speaking when he says, "I think recreating the Trinity test, the first nuclear weapon detonation in New Mexico, without the use of computer graphics was a huge challenge to take on," Nolan said. "Andrew Jackson, my visual effects supervisor, I got him on board early on, was looking at how we could do a lot of the visual elements of the film practically, from representing quantum dynamics and quantum physics to the Trinity itself, to recreating, with my team, Los Alamos up on Mesa in New Mexico in extraordinary weather, a lot of which was needed for the film. In terms of the very harsh conditions out there, there were huge practical challenges," and that comes to us from Variety. Now, I want to be very, very clear here. What the story actually says was that they recreated it practically rather than with CGI. It does not say that the U.S. government gave Christopher Nolan a nuclear weapon with permission to detonate it on U.S. soil. That is not what it says, because I've seen a lot of the headlines and a lot of tweets saying Christopher Nolan set off a nuclear bomb. Now listen, there is a chance that maybe that is what happened. It doesn't specifically say in the story. Now, just to be clear, I didn't set off a real nuke. But the wording is we recreated it using practical means instead of CGI means, which means they found a way to make a big ass explosion and use their practical effects knowledge to make it look like it was probably much bigger than it is, using certain wind elements and all that kind of stuff. So while it is certainly a sexy story to say that Chris Nolan was actually given a nuclear weapon, I don't know, maybe Doc Brown came from the future and gave him plutonium.
Christopher.
But it's still pretty something, because I would think, just get into the visual effects bay and create in CGI nuclear explosion. It'll look great, but he wanted to make it look as real as possible.
Dude.
Rob, you heard the story. What did you think about it?
I am willing to bet there was a phone call made just to ask. Like, I know it's like only a 1 megaton device. Like, it's old. You had it for Hiroshima and Nagasaki. Isn't there a way that you've got battlefield tactical nuclear weapons? We could actually go back to the scene of the crime. And I am sure somebody either entertained making that phone call or just made it. I know we can't really do it, but I want to believe that like I said, if James Cameron goes down to the bottom of the Mariana Trench to with equipment he's built, I am sure that Christopher Nolan either entertained the idea, floated the idea, asked his producer, well, can we? Like, why not? Because you know what? We've seen throughout our lives, John, that same footage of the test detonation where you see, wouldn't it have been cool to get 25 IMAX cameras and actually set off a nuke?
Well, didn't they do that for Kingdom of the Crystal Skull?
Yeah, I think you're right.
With Indy in the refrigerator?
I think you're right.
That wasn't practical? They didn't do that, really?
Yeah, they must have really done that. Stuntman, though. Stuntman was in the finish.
So it wasn't all that real. I mean, look, here's the thing. I applaud that dedication that Christopher Nolan, because it is still really interesting when you go back and look at the behind the scenes stuff of Interstellar. All the stuff, I mean, obviously a lot of that had to be done CGI, but when you'll be shocked if you haven't seen the behind the scenes stuff, how much they just did with practical effects.
Yeah.
The dedication that Christopher Nolan and a guy like Tom Cruise has to doing practical stuff when possible is impressive. But I get the questions like, wait a minute, we can't be okay as a society letting a filmmaker set up a nuclear bomb, right? Like we can't just for the sake of making his movie to make
There's
money.
too many nukes in the world as it is.
So many nukes.
One
in the
less.
world. I don't know, but listen, by the way, this movie, apparently the first film in history to be shot with specifically made IMAX cameras designed just to shoot in black and white. It's the first time ever they're shooting an IMAX thing in black and white.
I thought you were going to say designed to sustain a nuclear blast.
To sustain a full nuclear blast. If they're protected by a refrigerator, you're all good. Anyway, guys, question is for you. What do you think about this? I am dying to see how this looks on camera. I mean, this is going to look pretty crazy. How are you feeling about this? Are you looking forward to Oppenheimer? Maybe it's not on your radar. Whatever you guys think, jump down to the comment section below and let us know your thoughts. We want to thank a sponsor of this video, MasterClass. MasterClass offers classes on a wide variety of topics, all taught by world-class instructors at the very top of their fields. Each class is broken out into individual video lessons, usually around 10 minutes long. And MasterClass is completely accessible on your phone, the web, smart TV, and available via audio mode to listen to classes on the go. They have over 2,500 video lessons from over 180 of today's most brilliant minds. They're all available anytime, anywhere on iOS, Android, desktop, Apple TV, Amazon Fire TV, and Roku. Now, obviously around here on the John Campea Show, we love our movies, so why not learn filmmaking from Jodie Foster, or maybe directing from Ron Howard himself, or the great Neil Gaiman doing his masterclass on the art of storytelling. And you guys have heard me talk about my favorite masterclass, Business Strategy and Leadership by Big Papa Iger himself, Bob Iger, the new and returning CEO of Disney. Guys, I highly recommend that you check it out. This holiday, give the perfect gift of an annual Masterclass membership and get one free. Go to masterclass.com/Campea today. That's masterclass.com/Campea. Terms apply.